On the screen, you'll see me cutting up a Miami City Ballet flyer from 2011. I got this while attending a performance of Romeo and Juliet when I was in 8th grade. It was a present from my grandmother, and I kept this flyer for some reason, not knowing it would be perfect for my bullet journal. The dancers that are shown are performing in George Balanchine's La Valse, which means the waltz. On this blank page, you can see that I cut the foot and the tutu to be separate from the ballerina's epaulement and her bodice. I had hoped that the ballerina's top half would be a cool counterpart on the other half of the page, but I didn't end up liking it, so I cut that out. That's the actual sound that I made while accidentally ripping off the point shoe while gluing this collage in. I guess the glue was stronger than I anticipated it to be. I usually use just an Elmer's glue stick to glue my collages in. Since this was a promotional flyer and a bit thicker than usual, I thought I would try it with craft glue, but it ended up making the other side of the page so wrinkly that I ended up tearing out the top half of the dancer's body. Luckily, I had left blank space on either side of the spread, so it didn't matter when I ripped out the top part.
Look, I'll take what I can get. Can I get the legs? I'll take the legs. She can have the top part.
Anyway, I outlined the form on either side with my blue, yellow, orange, and pink mild liners because I felt like that went well with the colors that were in the tutu and in the background. On the leg side of the page, I printed out a quote with my label maker that says, "I have a body and I cannot escape from it. I would like to fly out of my head." This quote is by Anne Sexton from The Poet of Ignorance, and I felt like it fit a lot with my quarantine mood. Once I printed out these lines with my label maker, I stuck it to the side of the page that I had torn out and outlined each with my mild liners corresponding to the colors that I had used on the page before. Then I cut them out so that each line had a colorful outline. I then glued those in place on the page. I filled up the blank side of the page with colorful stripes corresponding with the colors that I had already used and glued in a figure of a dancer from the same ballet from a different Miami City Ballet flyer from the same year and glued her in place as well. And this is the finished spread. I hope you enjoyed collaging along with me, and I hope to see you next time. Bye! So, as a former dancer, I'd like to formally apologize for my choice of background music. I felt like the Waltz of the Flowers was particularly apt for this, but as a former dancer, it does give me flashbacks. So, I am sorry to anyone else who had to experience that.